Hi everyone, this is Swordless and welcome to my playthrough of Banjo-Tooie with glitches. I want to start out by saying that this game has a lot of glitches in it, but it's not even close to as broken as, for instance, DK64 or Ocarina of Time. However, I still think it's really cool, and a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show off is going to be really interesting. And it's a game that I've wanted to do any kind of playthrough of for some time, so the fact that it has glitches at all, I think, is good for me, because it means I'll have stuff to talk about and cool things to show off that you wouldn't see in a typical playthrough. So we're just going to get straight started. One thing I really like about this game is that you can skip pretty much every cutscene just by pressing B, so we're not going to hear the story of how Bottles died or whatever. I always thought that was weird that they chose to kill him off in this game. So, yeah. There's a guy in this rock, we're going to deal with him later. This is going to be a 100% playthrough, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that yet. I'm going to get absolutely everything, so it is going to be quite long. And the first thing I'm going to do is, there's a cutscene trigger right along this wall. Well, not wall, but like the floor. And it extends up, so if you jump in there it will still activate. And it plays like a little cutscene with Clungo, who's standing over there, and it takes forever, so I'm going to try and skip it by getting on top of this ledge just here. It's a little bit tricky to do. Just kidding, it's really easy. So when you go over here, you're past the trigger, you can just jump past, and that cutscene is now never going to play as long as I don't accidentally touch that trigger. And one cool side effect of that is that Clungo just stands here, he never ever moves, and you can walk right through him, which is pretty neat. So just going to head in here to the first quote-unquote boss of the game. Oops. Wow, I didn't realise that ledge was so high. So here's Clungo, we're going to fight him for the first of 3 times here. He has 3 potions that he'll use throughout the game, and none of them are really difficult at all. I hope I get the one where he makes himself really big, because that's the easiest. I have no idea which colour corresponds to which one, so we'll just see. Okay, cool, I did get the big one. That's what I was after. So you just hit him 3 times, avoid all his stuff. Nothing to worry about at all. So one difference that I find between the games, this game and Banjo-Kazooie, is that the movement is a lot more kind of fluid in this game. Fluent, that's what I meant to say. And what I mean by that is you get a lot more freedom. For instance, when you're doing that little roll that I just kept doing there, you can move around during it, and you can control how fast he goes by tilting the stick and stuff like that. In the first game, it wasn't really like that at all. You know, like if you press B to do a roll, he would just do the full roll at a certain speed and then he would stop. The talon trot thing looks a bit different as well. I think Banjo sort of flops around a lot. Like his feet bounce up and down a lot more in this game than they did in the first one. I don't know, it's just weird. So normally you're supposed to go through the other exit there, but I want to go back through here just to show something off before I continue with the game. And that is that Clungo is still here even though he ran off through the other exit, and he's still invisible. And he will stay there until I go and activate that cutscene, which I'm never going to do. So we better get used to him. And the digger tunnels are weird because once you come out of them for the first time, they never let you go back in. So it just takes me straight to the other exit, which is the Jingo village. This is where all the Jingos live, and whenever you complete a full family, like whenever you get all the red Jingos or all the black Jingos or whatever, you get a Jiggy. So I'm going to be collecting all of those in this playthrough as well, obviously. But the first thing I need to do is go and see the king, because he's going to give me my first jigsaw piece for basically nothing. If you haven't played through this game yet, I think you should probably do it, but maybe play the first game first. I've always preferred the first game, but this one is still really good. I think for like kind of speed runs and like just playing about with glitches and stuff, this one is better, but I guess that just means that the game's a little more broken, I don't know. I grew up with the first game, it was my favourite game before I played any Zelda games, so I still really enjoy it to this day. This cutscene here is really weird. Like, it shows him walking halfway across the room and then just stops and just warps him outside. I don't know why they bothered to do it at all. So yeah, I showed Bottle's house a second ago. That's a place that I'm never going to go to in this playthrough. Normally you are meant to do it to access the next part of the game, but there's actually another route that you can take. Completely unintentional, but yeah, there's a cutscene here, but I'm just mashing B to skip it. If you're actually quick enough, you can get the cutscene skipped without it actually showing that frame. But anyway, yeah, here's Bottle's house. His kids and his wife and everything are still in there. It's really kind of sad when you go in because they don't know that he's dead. I don't think they ever find out. I think at the end of the game he gets resurrected. I can't remember. I never watched the cutscene, so I don't really pay attention. I'm just going to grab some feathers because these are going to be useful in a little bit. So I guess the main reason that I'm not bothering to go through Bottle's house is because there's a bunch of cutscenes that play when you do so, and also just because it takes forever to go through it. It's completely pointless when you can just do this. Get on top of this, and then just roll off, jump, flutter, and do a ground pound, and not suck at the game. And if you do all of those things, especially the last one, you will make it up pretty easily. Okay, cool. So obviously that ledge is pretty high. You can't typically get up there unless you have like a move that you learn later on that lets you grab ledges, but obviously this is the start of the game, so I don't have that yet. So here we are at Wooded Hollow. I'm just sort of hurrying along to open up the first level, which is right in front of me. I'll open this thing first. Those things are like warps between the main areas. So this character is totally useless. I mean, there's like no point to this door because it doesn't let you do the puzzles inside unless you have the right amount of jiggies anyway. It's just kind of interesting that they bothered to add that. So here's Jiggy Wiggy. He's like the replacement for the puzzle pieces that you filled in the first game. I guess this is like a cooler way to open levels. It actually takes effort rather than just standing there and placing jigsaw pieces into a puzzle. You actually manually have to do it. It's much easier than that thing that you get at the end of the first game though, like the bonus thing in Banjo's house, because you don't have to rotate the pieces here, you just put them in. So I'm skipping a lot of the text boxes, which until I watched speedruns of this game I didn't actually know you could do. If you hold L and R and press B, you can actually skip them all. I'm just trying random places here because I can't be bothered actually checking where it should go. I think I've got every single piece except for the end ones wrong so far. Or whatever, it's done anyway. So that's the first level open. These little pictures that you fill in, I don't really feel like they represent the levels well a lot of the time. Like, that was just a picture of some guy in a place with lots of treasure. The first level was actually like about Mayan temples and stuff like that, and that was just the inside of one of them. It doesn't really show off what the level's like. So yeah, this is how all the levels get open. As soon as the cutscene switches to the overworld, right here, I could actually just reset the game and the level would be open still, but there's no point because I'm right next to it, so I'm just going to head straight back out and straight into the level as soon as it lets me. There's going to be a lot of kind of entering and exiting levels without really finishing them completely in this game. It's very sort of non-linear in that sense. At least the route that I'm going to take, one that's like been optimized for speed, is like that. But a lot of the jiggies involve going to different levels. Like there's like parts that you need to do in different levels to change things in earlier levels that lets you get the jiggies. So it's not like the first game where you just go into a level, get everything and leave. And that's actually something that I preferred in the first game, but I don't know, I guess it makes the route interesting. So here we are in the first level. I'm going to check what colour this Jingo is. He's yellow, okay, I'm not going to get him. And I'll explain the reason for that in a couple of minutes. So, another big difference between this game and the first one is that the notes are coming in little bunches here. As you can see, everyone's worth 5. There's also like a big treble clef in the level which is worth, I think, 20. There's just still 100 per level, and it's really easy to get notes. This guy here is Jam Jars. He's like Bottle's cousin or brother or something, I don't know. And he just teaches you the moves in this game. I'm not going to listen to a single word he says as long as I can help it. I'm really not interested in any of the text, I just want to play the game. But the thing that he taught me there was egg aiming, which means that I can shoot eggs in first person mode, which frankly is something that probably should have been in the first game. Just makes aiming a little easier, so... Oh, of course, I don't have any eggs yet, do I? I could have talked to him, in fact. Whenever he teaches you a move, if it's like an egg-related move or something like that, if you talk to that same jam jars, he'll give you loads of eggs. So I'm just shooting all the snake heads here. I'm actually playing this, I'm playing it on an N64 obviously, but I'm playing it with a Hori mini-pad, not an official controller. So the control stick is like a GameCube stick, and it's a lot more sensitive than a typical N64 controller. Generally speaking, I prefer the 64 controller, but I think this one works well for this game. So yeah, the main reason I came in here just now was to talk to him because it opens that door, which is necessary for me to complete the little challenge in here. Before I leave and go in there, I'm going to grab this honeycomb piece because, like I said, it is a 100% run, which means I'm pretty much going to collect everything that I see. Okay, so back outside, the next thing I'm going to do is head over to Mumbo. Actually, isn't there a... Yeah, I want to activate this first. Just as a shortcut later on. So one of the big selling points of this game when it came out was that you could play as Mumbo, and I don't know, I found it really underwhelming. I was really excited about it before the game came out, I guess because I thought he would be like as useful as Banjo-Kazooie are, but he isn't. Like, you only really use him to cast spells and basically change things in the level 4 BK. So whatever, I guess. It's not a big deal. You don't have to play as him too much if you route it properly, so it's fine. As for the actual transformations, they changed that. Mumbo doesn't do them anymore. It's now like this new character called Humba Lumba. And a lot of the transformations, in my opinion, in this game are pretty lame compared to the ones in the first game, but whatever. So now that I'm Mumbo, there's a couple things I'm going to do in the level. I'll get those notes later. Don't need them right now. So I'm going to jump down round the back of this temple. The treble clef's here. Let's see, it should give me 20, I think. Yeah, it gives you 20. So I'm going to jump straight down here, and there's like a... If he would ever shut up. There's like a sign there. I've never read a sign in this game before, so if I can land right next to the sign, I won't take damage. Because, yeah, that's what happens. Like, he teaches you about the sign, and because of that, you don't take damage. That's pretty neat. So I'm going to activate the Golden Goliath. And you use him to open a bunch of areas, side areas in this place that you need to go to later as Banjo-Kazooie, so that's what I'm going to do right now. This cutscene is really long. A lot of the Mumbo cutscenes are kind of annoyingly long. I suppose I shouldn't really complain after doing games like Zelda where the cutscenes are genuinely long, so long that I had to edit them out. I'm probably never going to do that in this game. So I've only got 75 seconds with this guy, not even going to need that much. Just going to use him a couple of times to break open things. So you can use him to open this door, and there's also another one all the way up there that you can use him to break open. You don't need to do that, you can open it with grenade eggs, which you get later on in the game. That's what I'm going to do. Because he's not even needed inside that area, so... What colour is the Jingo in here? He is purple, okay. So... The reason that I was paying attention to the Jingo colour is whenever you first get a Jingo, a little cutscene plays where it shows a Jingo going back to his house. Whenever you complete a Jingo family, another cutscene plays where they give you a Jiggy. And there's only one white Jingo, so if you happen to get that one as your first one, then the cutscenes like overlap and play at the same time. It's just a little time saver, so I can just kick and pick this guy up. This game actually auto-saves in a bunch of places. Whenever the cutscene changes here, it'll auto-save, so I'm just going to reset. And the reason that I'm resetting rather than just waiting for this is because, number one, I don't have to watch the cutscene. Number two, I don't have to wait for the Golden Goliath timer to go out. And most importantly, number three, I don't have to go back and change Mumbo into Banjo-Kazooie. All of that will be done automatically for me, and it just saves a little bit of time. So my file is still there, as you can see, so it did actually save, which is good. back in the overworld, but it's not a problem because I activated that warp earlier, which means I can just quickly jump straight back into the level. So now that I'm back as Banjo-Kazooie, I can actually enter that level that I opened as the Golden Goliath. There's a couple of quick things I want to grab in there, so I'm just going to head straight there before I do anything else. And it's just over here. I'm going to get some more feathers as well, just because I am going to need them. I can't remember how many you can hold at the start of this game. It's probably 100. I think you can probably upgrade it. There's another jam jars move over here. You see that, like, he has note requirements. He wants 35, I've got 85. Yeah, it's just, like, you're never ever gonna not have enough notes to learn a move from him, so it's gonna take damage a bunch of times here because I am gonna want to kill myself pretty soon. In fact, there's gonna be quite a lot of that in this game. Because, well, you'll see in a second, but it just like serves as a pretty cool shortcut. You need a global for Wumba as well, but I'm not going to go and see her just yet. There's no need to at the moment. So the next place I want to go is up here. There's a bunch of things you can do in here, but there's only one thing that I'm really interested in, and it's the snake that sits on top of this thing. It's quite similar to the monster, the ghost thing in Mad Monster Mansion that sleeps, and you have to like sneak past him and get the jiggy. So if I just do a jump and then an attack, I can pick up the jiggy without waking him up, so that's a little time saver. Just gonna shimmy along this and kill these things because I don't want them to kill me, because there's something on the other end that I need to get. I don't want to pick up that honeycomb either. Wow, come on. So, Cheeto pages, there's 3 per level, I think. Is it 3? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3. Yeah, here's Grunty's lair. I remember when I first got this game, I went inside the lair and I just was heartbroken that I couldn't, like, explore it. So, yeah, I'm dead. Quick warp back to the start of the level. Just saves a lot of time. So I'm going to pick up this Jingo in the water right now. I could have got this earlier, but I wanted to wait and see if it was a white one inside that cave. Okay, cool. So there's only 3 yellows. They've got, every like colour has a different number. I think the blacks have the most. I think there's like 9. It's 8 or 9. I think it's supposed to be like going from white to black in the colour spectrum or something. I don't know, I'm just talking crap. So there's another Jingo over here. Oh cool, it's another yellow one. So I'm already done with that, almost. Just one more to get. I've no idea where it's going to be. It could be in the very last level for all I know. So there's actually a Jiggy up here that I want to get. Can I grab it? Nope, I can't. Someone more skilled than me would be able to just beak bomb straight through that and pick the Jiggy up. But I'm not that good at the game. I can't even fly into the Jiggy. I just don't want to land. That's like what I'm trying to avoid here, because then I'm going to have to go back and get another flight pad. Well, fuck everything. Well, at least this lets me show something else off. If you do a ground pound and then move off the ledge, you never take damage from the fall, so that's pretty cool. But I do need to be flying, so I'm going to head back down and take off from here again. So I want to go back to that place that I was earlier on, where the guy opened the door for me upstairs. I can finally head in there. I think it's over here. And there's another Cheeto page right here for me. Oh god. Okay. So one thing that is very, very different between Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie is that the levels are sort of intertwined in this game. This means that you can actually just sort of head into a level that you're never supposed to go to until way later in the game from the very first level, which is kind of cool. So like when you see this place for the first time, you just have no idea where it is. The music's totally different, there's like a caveman and everything. Anyway, what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to tiptoe across this really, really slowly. and not wake him up. Just exactly what I didn't do there. Even that was too fast, even though I was moving so slow. So he's going to slowly kick me out, and I'm going to have to slowly come back in, but that's okay. I got to show off what not to do, which was obviously my point. So a good way to get across this, hopefully I can get this pretty quickly. It's a little bit tricky. If you go into talent trot mode and jump onto this... Oh my god, dude. Well, whatever. It's going to take a couple tries, obviously. It's not even that hard, but if you like land on the flame, you can take damage, and from that, you can make it across without ever having to tiptoe across. Okay. Okay, cool. So I want to pick up this thing up here, but I want to go into talent trot mode right away. Just so that I can do the same thing on the way back. Oh, sugar. Actually, I've still got the thing, so hopefully it's just going to send me out. Wait, never mind. Never mind. Oh god, this is bad, because now I don't have any health left. Alright, okay, lesson learned. Let's just do it the slow way. I practiced this route a little bit earlier on, and it really wasn't that bad then, but whatever, we're just gonna have to go along it like this. It's so hard to do this on a Hori mini-pad as well, like the controller stick is so sensitive. I'm having to use 2 fingers just to hold it in place. The good news is that on the way back you don't have to do this, you can take like another path. So yeah, like I was trying to say before, if you pick this up in talent trot mode and stay in talent trot mode, you don't have to like slowly carry it as Banjo, which takes forever. So I'm going to try and do that. Yeah, if you pick it up just as Banjo, like he holds it above his head and there's no way to get rid of it. It just takes like a gear to take it back, so... Where's the exits in here? Yeah, he did it there. When I stopped jumping, he just automatically started doing that, and it takes forever, but it stops doing it for some reason when you get into here, so... I'm not sure why they even bothered to do it. I've only got 1 health point left. I'm going to risk this anyway. I'm going to jump straight into the cutscene down here. Okay, cool. That was close. And now the caveman wonders where it went. Even though I was like jumping all over the place, I was really loud. He still doesn't know. We're going to come back and see a lot more of those guys later on, but not for a little while. I always think it's weird how, like, even though it's showing this place, it's still playing the music from the other one. Just doesn't feel right at all. It does that all over the game though. So let's grab this Jiggy, and we're already up to 5. Not bad for the first video. Let's just check the stats so far. Yeah, looking pretty good. So I guess I'm just going to save and quit for now. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.